Hey y'all, hey, welcome to the kitchen. So, see now the light's working and you guys can see my face. Hey there, hello. I thought I'd give you guys a heads up on Twitter that I was gonna be broadcasting. So welcome. I am cooking all sorts of things today. As you guys know, I'm gonna try my hand at breakfast quinoa. I'm gonna make chili. I've actually already prepped all of that. It's all in the crock pot. It's waiting for carrots and then it'll go in the crock pot. Thanks for the hearts. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna make mac and veggies. I'm going to make roasted veggies. I'm gonna make that spaghetti that I've made the past 2 times because it's super easy. And then I'm going to do veggies for quinoa, salad. This is my little note sheet. Salad, and if you've been looking on Instagram, that breakfast scramble that I've been having is amazing. It's delicious. So salad and breakfast. Okay, so see, I've got my note sheet here to remind me what I'm doing. I know you guys remind me when I get off track, but just to remind me there. So for those of you that saw the shopping video on Wednesday, or if you go to YouTube, I've already uploaded it. I'm gonna be using pretty much everything that we bought that day. There are a couple things that we got from Costco since then because we did go to Costco. Like the broccoli, my big bag of broccoli. Why cooking so late at night? Oh, I am prepping everything for next week. I'm West Coast and I just got my 3-year-old down for the night. It was a late night. My husband's going out of town, so he was wrapping some stuff up for work, and so everything just kind of got pushed back. So my son is now asleep, and I am now able to cook, but I'm gonna cook hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 meals, and have prepped a salad, a bunch of salad and some breakfast veggies so that I can put them in with my eggs. So it's gonna be probably about an hour. They've been going about an hour and a half, but maybe a little bit shorter, but I'm hoping to get all that done in that time and talk to you guys. So you guys are kind of keeping me company while I'm doing this. So what I'm gonna do right now is put my quinoa in the pot with my water. I'm gonna do 3 cups. So it's 3 cups of water, 1.5 cups of quinoa, just like rice. And Kirkland now has their own organic quinoa. We've been getting the True Roots quinoa from Costco, but Kirkland now has it, so we thought we would try it. So I'm going to just put that on and get it to a boil, and then we'll take it off and we'll cover it, take it off, and it's just going to be basically a plain quinoa. I think I might put a little bit of cinnamon in it because that's what I put in my oatmeal. This is kind of to help me replace a little bit of oatmeal. So we'll see, because we had both quinoa and oatmeal on our list, and although oatmeal is gluten-free, not all oatmeal manufacturers or all companies that process oatmeal will guarantee theirs to be gluten-free. So I figured instead of just trusting other people with that, I'd go with something I knew was gluten-free. So there you go. Today is the last day of my 10-day shred, and y'all, I feel amazing. Seriously, I know that I was healthy before, and I was really happy with a good portion of my health before, but man, it's been a real eye-opener because, like, I was talking to one of my friends that's been doing it with me, and she was like, I thought that I was doing good. I thought that I was healthy. Recap of what you did. Oh, thank you. You keep me on track. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are here every week, every time that I record. Okay, so the 10-day shred is it's not a program, it's not a diet, it's just some guidelines to help you kind of cut things out, to help your body reset and process. I'll talk a little bit more about my 30-day reset, but the first 10 days were the 10-day shred is what I just did. And it is no gluten, no dairy, no alcohol, no caffeine. And there were two other things that you're not supposed to have, and I can't remember now because I didn't have them anyway. So those 4 things you are not supposed to be eating. And then no caffeine. That's right. I'm gluten, caffeine, alcohol, dairy, or the big 4 that you're not supposed to have. And then you were also supposed to get at least 7 hours of sleep. You were supposed to eat before 6 o'clock or 3 hours before you go to bed. So if you go to bed late or you work swing shift, it was just to make sure that you weren't digesting or having the digestive process getting in the way of you sleeping. So for me, because I'm a nursing mom as well, I needed to eat later than 6 o'clock, and I go to sleep later anyways, obviously. So that was kind of the difference there for me. And then it was also be active for 30 to 90 minutes every single day, and have the trio of Juice Plus capsules and 2 shakes a day. So I have my second shake right here, and this was just almond milk and the complete powder, and it's really good. So 2 shakes a day, the trio of capsules, which are Orchard, Garden, and Vineyard, and then all of those things that I just recapped, the being active, the sleeping more, and drink at least a gallon of water a day, the giant cup of water. So those were the things that the guidelines that I stuck to for the 30-day challenge or this 10-day shred. And it's been amazing. I do almost a 2-mile walk with my son every morning. He's 3. And let's go ahead and get some things cooking. So we've got the quinoa in. We're gonna have some really excited oil here in a minute because I'm gonna put the pasta sauce in. Oh, if you could smell that, it smells so good. So, all right, so we've got the handy Vitamix that we just put tomatoes, pepper, onions, garlic, nutritional yeast, basil, and I put a mushroom in this time. I love mushrooms, and I finally remembered to get them, put them on my list to get them. So I did that. But the 30-day shred, I have had more clarity. I have had better sleep. Like, I was already sleeping well. I thought that I was doing really well. You guys, amazing. Just amazing. I don't have that brain fog. You know when you walk out of a room and you forget what you were doing? I haven't had that in a few days now. I can see a difference in my face and my body and my nails. I don't know if you guys can see this. I cut them last Monday. And these are my real nails. These are my nails. Yeah, my skin, my nails, my hair even. Like, I can tell a difference in my body, my memory. Yeah, it's been kind of an amazing just transformation. And I heard other people talking about it, but I didn't, you always have that, oh, well, it's not gonna work that way for me. But if you're honestly taking out all of those things, and replacing how much caffeine, etc. I don't have, what was the other one? Did you say something before? How much caffeine? I have a very, very sensitive, I'm very, very sensitive to caffeine, so I try not to have it anyway. So that was one of the things that I didn't have to worry about because I had cut that out when I was pregnant. Not because, you shouldn't drink caffeine while you're pregnant. Their studies show that you can have caffeine. What were you eating before? How much sleep? Well, as a mom with a newborn, I was not getting as much sleep as I should. And even now, the thing is, like last night, I think I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I'll tell you what I'm cooking in just a second. Let me answer this question. 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but the sleep that I get is so good and so restful. You know how sometimes you can get like 8 hours of sleep, but you don't feel rested afterward? This was just such restful sleep that it's just amazing. So when you take all of that bad stuff out and then you replace it with that good nutrition with, like, I've been cooking whole food for quite a while now. I'd say like a year and a half I've been cooking like this. And we replaced all the pasta we were doing whole wheat pasta, and everything is now gluten-free pasta. But I've been cooking this way for a while, and I thought that we were doing really, really well, and we were, and I had lost, 65 pounds before I got pregnant. So it wasn't that it was bad, it's just by taking the rest of it out, my body was able to take the nutrients and go, oh, I know what to do with this, and I don't have anything in my way. So it's just been amazing, and having that extra nutrition from the capsules and the complete, it really, I don't know. You guys may think I might sound crazy, but I don't care, because I'm a believer. It's one of those things, like, you do it and people are like, oh, it's not for everybody. No, it's just the way that everybody could eat, and it's not hard. Yes, I would definitely do it again. That's what I was gonna say. My 30-day reset is going to probably change into doing just 3 shreds and having like a couple days between, and I don't even know what I'm gonna change in the couple days between, honestly. Maybe just give myself kind of some days of rest where I don't try and do 2 miles. I don't know. I really don't. Because it really has been that effective. What do you mean by modified? Can you be more specific? Because I don't even know what I would modify, honestly. But what I'm cooking today, I'm cooking breakfast quinoa, chili in the crock pot, macaroni and veggies. So what would you do differently? That's the thing I don't know. Mac and veggies is like mac and cheese. Roasted veggies, my spaghetti, veggie quinoa, which I have some of the quinoa that I cooked last week. I apparently cooked a lot of it last week, so I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to prep some veggies, and what I'll do is, instead of just reheating that, I'll put the veggies in the oil before I put the quinoa and stuff in. So then I'm going to prep a whole bunch of salad and the veggies to go in my breakfast. Normally I do like I'll saute the veggies in the coconut oil, and then I'll put the eggs in and let them fry a little bit and then break them up. So it's kind of like a scramble, but it's not scrambled eggs in it. Does that make sense? And it's so good, y'all. It's been so good. And then I put an avocado on it. Aww. Try it. Okay, so what I did was I put my pasta sauce in, let that heat up, and I just put my spaghetti in. You guys saw me breaking it. And this is the same box that I was cooking last week. So yeah, I should show you this giant bag of broccoli. It's bigger than my head, y'all. It's bigger than my head. The lentil pasta, I'm not, because I had this open. So I wanted to make sure that I used all of this, and then I'll do the lentil pasta next time. So in prepping, I'm finding that I stocked up, obviously, because they were on a good sale. Where do I shop? I shop at Sprouts, I shop at the farmer's market, I shop at Costco. I've been known to shop at the 99-cent store because ours has some good veggies a lot of the time and good prices. Like their grapes are normally 88 cents or 99 cents a pound, and sometimes grapes are like $2.99 a pound. So there is no shame in my game. I will shop there. Hold on, let me. So the pasta sauce is boiling again. Coupons. I don't coupon. I personally do not have a lot of time for that. I wouldn't say that I'm busy. I have a 3-year-old, I have a 3-month-old, and I work at home. I have a business, and I am trying to make more time that is not filled. Does that make sense? I don't want to have a busy life. That's been a goal of mine, is to get the things done and then be able to spend more time with my kids and with my husband, and in that solitude, not in a lonely way, but in a healthy way. Does that make sense? All right, my quinoa is looking like it's starting to boil. So we're gonna take a spoon. We're gonna mix that around a little bit. And just like rice, you don't wanna stir it too much. So I'm not gonna agitate it too much. I just wanna get it to a boiling point. Did I turn on? I turned on the wrong, okay. There we go. I'm gonna put some coconut oil in that as well. Did someone ask a question while I was doing that? I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. It looked like it was going. It's a juggling act. Yeah, it's definitely a juggling act. I wouldn't change it for the world at all. I love our life that we have. I really, really do. So, but I will tell you that doing this and doing this prep has really, really, really helped a lot. So if you are thinking about doing it, do it. Please do it. Hold that thought. I have to rinse out the Vitamix because I need it. And we're just gonna rinse it out real quick. Nothing is dried on, so we're just gonna give it a good rinse with the hot water. Because we need to make our mac and veggies. So the base for the mac and veggies is basically like you would make homemade macaroni and cheese base, so like with a roux, but I use gluten-free flour, obviously, and I use veggies instead of milk, if that makes sense. I kind of blend it all down and it gives it a really good color. So I do have, see you when you get back. All right, so I've got my favorite knife ever. I have been cutting a couple things. I obviously made the pasta sauce. So I found that making the carrot medallions really does help me distinguish between what I'm eating. So you know that 5-pound bag of carrots that I got on Wednesday? I am doing about 2/3 of that in prep. Some of it for salad, some of it in food, some of it is for snacks. So they'll be cut a little bit differently. Oh, don't cut your finger. Okay. Yes, I just told myself not to cut my finger. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a pepper, a carrot, some of those mushrooms. Oh, and I need to go ahead and prep that, or slice that big cabbage head that I showed you. I pulled that out as well. I've got something going on over here. What's going on over here? And then we're gonna take a clove of garlic. And remember, I don't use the pre-cut garlic because why would you when you can? Garlic is pretty easy to cut. And it's going in a blender anyway, so I'm not doing a lot of cutting. I'm just getting the skin off. One of my friends, he went through a culinary training and he got really, really upset with me one time because I wasn't taking the skin off of my garlic. Well, at that point I was trying to buy all of my garlic from like local farms at the farmer's market. And I was like, well, I know where it comes from and it's protected by the outside skin. And he was like, no, there can be so much bacteria. Apparently someone in his class had gotten sick. And so he was like adamant that you take the skin off. So I do it for him. All right, cutting up some garlic. And this again is the base for my mac and veggies. So it'll look like mac and cheese, but it's really vegetables and it's a vegetable sauce. It tastes really good. And you can use whatever veggies you want. I just tend to use these veggies because they make it orange. Mushrooms, just chopping them up. And you don't have to chop them super small if they're going in the Vitamix. Depending on your blender, whatever blender you use, you'll know it better than I do. Just make sure that it's able to handle everything. What color peppers? I'm using all the red peppers that I bought on Wednesday. Remember the ones that were two for $1? That's what I'm using. Remember, because I like my sales. I like things that are on sale. It helps me eat healthy and feed my family without spending a ton. Something happened to this pan, and I'm not quite sure what. Let me see if I can. I'm looking for something to wipe it out with because it's got 2 dark spots. I'm not sure what happened. All right, so I'm waiting for a pot to boil for pasta for the mac and veggies. And I'm not using macaroni, I just call it mac and veggies because it's the easiest thing to call it, but I'm using this pasta today. See, it's really pretty. It's got a really interesting texture, and I feel like that's gonna hold a lot of the sauce really, really well. And this is the garden one. I actually put some of this in the glop tonight. That's what we had. We had the glop that I cooked on Sunday. I heated it up. I heat up a pot, put some oil in it, put the glop in it, let that come to a boil. I put a little more water in, and then I put the noodles in and let them cook. I bring it to a boil. I simmer it for, I think I simmered it for like 2 to 5 minutes, and then took it off and let them just kind of do their thing. It was delicious. My son ate all of his and then had a banana with some yogurt. Okay, so where are we at? I can put the quinoa away because that's in its pot, getting its boil on. Oh, let me tell you what I put in the chili. The chili has 2 beans that I've already soaked, and I told you how I soak the beans when I make refried beans, and that's exactly how I soak my chili beans. So I put a little bit of vinegar in, hot water, and yes, beans. So it's 2 pounds of beans, and I use them kind of interchangeably with my refried beans. So the chili and the refried beans, well, like I'll do chili nachos and I'll do chili burritos, and so they're kind of interchangeable. So one week I'll make refried beans and the next week I'll have chili beans. It just depends. You can put it over potatoes. You can do all sorts of good stuff. So 2 pounds of beans. I did, again, blackened pinto. You can also do lentils. They don't have to go in the crock pot for nearly as long, and they're really, really good. So lentil chili is super tasty. I might actually do that for you guys one of these times. Remind me somewhere, blog, Instagram, here, whatever. So you got the beans. I put in tomatoes. I put in 2 cans of the organic diced tomatoes from Costco. I put in nutritional yeast. I put in Worcestershire sauce. I put in a carrot. That's one of the things that I need to actually cut the carrot for. So I just scrubbed all those carrots. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but I tweeted that I was gonna start as soon as I got all of my carrots scrubbed, and I had to clean the mushrooms as well. So it's got a 1/4 of an onion, it's got 2 cloves of garlic, and then some chili powder. And that's what I put in my chili, and it's really good. I usually cook it on low for about 12 hours, and it's very flavorful. Everything kind of marries together really, really nicely. You just have to kind of watch the black beans because they can look like they're burning and they're not. But remember, keep the lid closed on the crock pot. Keep the lid closed on the crock pot so that you don't get burning around the edge. Because of the sides, exactly. You don't want those burns on the edges. All right. Cutting a little bit of garlic here. I don't know if you saw me struggle to try and get this one to open up, but I did. It was fighting me. I won because I had a knife. So that's what goes in my chili, and the chili is really tasty. I like it. My husband likes it. My son likes it, but they don't really get a choice, right? I mean, my husband, there have been 3 times in our entire marriage. We've been married 6 years. We've been together 8. But in the entirety of the time that we've been together, there have been 3 times that what I have cooked did not turn out how we thought it would, and it didn't taste good. One of them was a barley turkey soup that smelled amazing, but it tasted like gray. Take that how you will. That's how it tasted. It tasted like gray. So let me go put these over. Yeah, it was really weird. It smelled really good though. Let me go put these in the crock pot. It's way, way, way over at my table. See, I'm this far away now. If it seems like I'm rushing, it's because the little girl is gonna wanna eat here soon. Well, probably not soon, but I'm trying to get through all of this with you guys so that you guys can see that it's possible to do in a very short period of time. Smells like, should I say, the spaghetti is doing an awesome job. Looks like my noodle water is ready and my quinoa is starting to boil. Rinse off my hands real quick. One of the great things that I have found that I love about the cooking and not really eating a lot of meat, which is going to be funny to some people that are really hardcore that don't eat meat, is that when I'm cooking, I don't have to stop, completely wash my hands because of bacteria. You know, I feel like I can just kind of give my hands a quick rinse and then I'm good. So yes, I have on my running shorts still from this morning, but that's life when you're me. I wear my running shorts quite often. All right, let's see. What else do I need? I feel like there was something else that I needed. Oh, roasted veggies. Oh, I need my big pot for that. veggie quinoa. All right, let's chop the onion for the roasted veggies, and then we'll get out the big pot instead of the big skillet, because the big skillet is what we'll use for the veggie quinoa, and I'll chop the onions and the garlic fresh for that. So I'm getting out my big stock pot because I'm going to pot roast the veggies on the stove. This guy is hot. I don't know why. Oh, I had that one on too. Okay, that might be why. So let's chop up a mushroom. And this mushroom was huge. Here's a cross section of him. That's a big mushroom. All right. Mushroom. I can't remember what I was just talking about. Somebody help me. All right, we're just chopping up a whole bunch of veggies. Portobello, oh yeah, all the time. And I was making a decision between getting the portobello and doing these guys, and I think it ended up just being like a time thing where I didn't want to stand there and have to pick out portobellos, and these, for some reason, I feel like they're easier to pick out, the little white mushrooms. But they're huge, like this one. That's the size of my hand. So I'm just cutting pretty much everything in strips. I did, before I got on, I did a little bit of prepping. I prepped for my prepping, just so that it would be easier for us and I didn't have to go back and forth from the sink, because I remember that first one, I was back and forth so much, and I think that's what took a lot of the time, was that I was trying to prep everything. I was trying to cut, and it was just, to me, when I went back and looked at it, which, let me tell you, if you've never heard yourself on a video, and if you're not used to hearing yourself recorded, it can be really weird. Sometimes I just feel like my voice, I've heard myself in recordings with like my son, but my voice just sometimes sounds weird to me. I don't know. I was told once that I should do books on tape, and I was like, no, I don't like my voice sounds to do that. So I've got a quarter of an onion, I've got a whole mushroom, I've got a whole carrot, and I will do a whole red bell pepper, and then 2 cloves of garlic. Let me get my pot heating. All right, heating up the pot, so then we can heat up the olive oil. And a lot of these carrots I'm gonna do in sticks so that I have something to snack on. I did get, if you saw the scope on my shopping haul from Sprouts, I did get some of that seed and nut trail mix. So that's a good snack for me. I do have some of my garbanzo beans. I'm gonna make some more of those. I might do a separate scope on how to make those, because you guys didn't see the finished product. And I'm kind of sad about that for you, because they were super good. All right, and see, I just took the peppers and took the stem off and took most of the vein out and then cut them. This one had a little funkiness going on the bottom, so we just took that right off, and then it was fine. So let's get, okay, I should tell you how I prep my cabbage so you guys can at least know that part, just in case I have to go before I get to it. So I normally just cut it in half, and then I cut out the core so it looks kind of like a little Christmas tree. I just cut it in like a triangle to get most of the core out, and then I cut it really thin. I just slice it so it's almost like a slaw, like a coleslaw cabbage, but I use red cabbage or purple cabbage. My son calls it purple, so I call it purple. But he'll go, and the purple, mama, and the purple, when I need to get it. Yes, I have a mandolin, and I do use it, but I don't know, I feel like I have more control over the knife than I do the mandolin, which sounds weird because it's such a precision instrument, but it is also big, and because of all the things that I do chop, because It's not like, I know there are people that use it when they chop, let's see, when they have like one veggie or one something that they chop, but I feel like I chop so much that I'd be constantly trying to rinse it or something. I don't know, maybe I'm just being weird. I also need potatoes. I did not wash my potatoes. Oh wait, I did wash potatoes. Ha-ha! Perfect. Here are the potatoes that I washed last week. Awesome. That makes me happy. Okay, so because the potatoes need to go in before all the other veggies for roasted veggies. They're the starch or the carb, however you want to describe it, for this particular meal. And you'll notice I use a lot of the same spices and a lot of the same ingredients, just in different variations in my cooking. Not right before. What do you mean? Not right before. Oh, it's trying to escape. Oh, I have to show you something funny about 2 of these carrots. Do you wash potatoes when you get them weeks before? No, not weeks before. I just washed these last week because I was going to do something with them and I didn't end up doing that. But normally I just leave them until I'm about to cook with them, or you know, if I'm going to cook with them the next day or something. But these just happen to be ones that I didn't use. There was something that I was cooking, I can't remember, that I ended up using. Oh, it was the roast chicken. I ended up using fewer than I meant. So it was Monday that I washed them. Okay, so one more. So normally carrots are a root, right? And people have this funny, weird preconception about carrots that they look a certain way. They're orange, even though they can be purple, they can be yellow, they can be white, and that they generally look like this. Like this would be what you think a carrot looks like, right? Well, carrots can have, because they're roots, they can have other roots coming off of them. They can have more than one branch for their root. So a couple of these carrots, you can tell, to make them consumer friendly, where somebody is going to want to eat them, they have cut off the other root. Look, this guy lost a whole big portion of his root. It was probably looked like another leg, and so did this one here. And you can tell that it was supposed to have another root because this part is much, much thinner than it would have been if it was all one root. Makes me sad because people need to know that it's not. Oh, we've got a little bit of too much heat going on with this pasta sauce. Hold on. Break. Oh, water break. We should do that. Water break. Oh, good. I don't think I've had enough water today. Surprised, right? Yes, water break. Everybody stop. Take a drink of water. So I'm also going to show you my coconut oil. Let's put some in this pot right here. Now again, remember, I usually use more than people think that you need to. And I'm using an ice cream scoop because my coconut oil is liquid right now. It got so warm. Yeah, it's completely liquefied. It got so warm on Wednesday. Like I told you guys, it got warm and I completely forgot to turn on the AC before I left because I left early. And it got warm enough that my coconut oil melted, completely melted, and then has not re-solidified, even though it's been down in the 60s. So that's how warm it's been. Even though we've had the AC on in here, it just hasn't recovered yet. So funny, yeah? All right, this is very hot. That coconut oil heated right up. So we're putting the potatoes in. I like to put the potatoes in first and give them a chance to, I don't know, absorb. It just feels right. So that's one thing I can tell you about cooking. Just do what feels right to you. But yeah, I'm looking at my face in this Periscope, and it's different than the first time that we got together and I was cooking for you guys. All right, I'm gonna take a spoon and mix that around and make sure that my potatoes, A, are not sticking, and B, are getting covered in the coconut oil. That's what I really want for the potatoes. And they smell really good already, and it's just the potatoes in here. Woohoo! All right, my quinoa has a nice bubble to it, so we're going to turn it down, cover it up, and I got all my lids out, so I didn't have to worry about doing that while we were on bending over and being underneath the counter for a while. All right, so what's going in here on top of these beautiful potatoes that smell amazing? A couple good spoonfuls of nutritional yeast, some basil, and again, if you like different seasonings, by all means, use different seasonings. I've done this a curry before, and it was delicious. So whatever works for you. This is chili powder, just a little bit. And then we're gonna put some pepper in quickly. I also like to let my seasonings get a little bit cooked in the coconut oil. So that's why I like to put them on a little bit before I put the other veggies in. And the potatoes are just now covered in delicious. That's pretty much what's going on in here. All right, and then all the rest of these veggies that I cut up, the onion, the garlic, the mushroom, the pepper, the carrot, all of those are gonna go play happy, happy. Now this will come out when I heat it up. I'll put it on a bed of spinach, which will wilt the spinach. So a lot of people would put spinach in with all of this to wilt it, and I'm not a fan of that because I've done it before where it got icky. Icky, that's a technical term. It's a cooking technical term, guys. More coconut oil, even though I put a ton in there. So now what I do is I heat it up to where I want it, and then, icky, yes. I heat it up to where I want it, and then I bring the spinach out and I chop it up, and I let it sorry, hold on, confusing myself. And then I let the heat from the stuff that's just coming out of the pot wilt it. So it's worked really, really well, and it makes everything really tasty. Oh, I was going to cut some of this cabbage to put in there. And then I'm going to use the giant, very sharp chef's knife. It's an 8-inch chef's knife. This is my husband's favorite out of the whole thing. Off. Well, at least try. These are, they were on Groupon on sale, and these are the Emerald brand, or the Emerald set. There were a couple others, and a lot of people are like, yeah, bam. A couple people have been like, oh, why didn't you get like KitchenAid or something like that? And I looked at them, but these ones, A, for the price were the best, and they've been amazing. They really have. My husband went and got a honing steel, and he keeps them very, very sharp. So you can kind of see that's the core that I'm going to just go in. Actually, I'm going to do that later. So I'm going to cut this in half yet again. So I've got quarters here, and I'm just going to use the same knife and slice it thin. And this is where I feel like I have more control than on a mandolin, because I don't know, maybe I just don't use the mandolin right. So I'm just going to take a good old handful of this, rinse it off real quick. And that's going to make some craziness in the pot, but I don't care because I need to get this in here. Now, the other thing about purple cabbage is you will get that purple juice will stain things. So be careful when you're putting it like in your sink, but also remember that it's going to change your food colors. So we have this going pretty well in here. It's looking like there's something missing, and I can't remember, because I just kind of use the veggies that I have. I can't remember what else should go in there. Where is my bag for the, there it is. I have a big perforated bag from one of the boxes that we used to get But I'm just gonna put all of this cabbage in that the part that I chopped up. I'm gonna leave that out. But I go through cabbage a lot more quickly than I used to because I put it in everything now. It's kind of like spinach to a lot of other people. But I use spinach and everything too, so I can't really talk. All right, let's stir this spaghetti. Okay, I was afraid it was gonna be stuck to the bottom, but it's not. It's happy spaghetti, but it is done. So we can go ahead and remove this from the heat. Woo, stop popping at me. Stop popping at me. It's not listening. I probably could have added a few more noodles, honestly. But it heats up, it reheats really, really well. So, and if you're wondering if all of this is reheating really well, yeah, all of it reheats really, really well. All right, spaghetti is gonna go over here. One, done. Everything is in the, turn off. Everything's in the crock pot that needs to be in the crock pot as well. It looks like my pasta is done for the veggies in the pasta. We're just gonna drain it. I don't rinse my pasta ever, so we went ahead and drained that. Let me leave this off the heat for just a minute so it doesn't cook anything to the bottom. All right, then we've got the roasted veggies that I don't know if you can hear them, but they're over here singing. So we're also going to turn this down to warm and cover it so it roasts. Exciting. Oh, that one's just slightly too big. That's for my other pot. Okay, those guys are all done. Let's get, I'm gonna chop up the rest of the, or slice up the rest of this cabbage so that I have it to go in with other stuff. And I'll probably start putting this in my morning breakfast scramble because that would be delicious, this cabbage. And now I think it's just prepping the salad. What else do I have, guys? I have, got the roasted veggies. Yeah, I just need to prep for, I don't, because I don't like fry with it, I don't have any extra. It usually just goes into the meals. So, what I'll show you the pot when I'm done cooking the roasted veggies. It's pretty much just gone. It's in the veggies and in the food. So that's a good question though, because you would have leftover for some things. All right, paring knife is coming out because I'm cutting up these peppers so that I can cut them better. All right, now it's time to prep that salad. Yep, we're playing that game now. I love this paring knife. It is an amazing knife. If you get no other knife from this set, get the 3.5 inch paring knife. It's an amazing knife. And if you keep it sharp, it's awesome. You just have to be careful. Oh, my hair. Okay, what was I doing? I was cutting peppers. So now we actually have not been together all that long tonight and we're almost done. It's just like the other night when I was cooking on Sunday. I was like, am I already done? I guess I'm already done. So it's interesting when I start doing this and I prep a little bit beforehand so that we can have more talking time. It just goes much more quickly. Now, I'm not a big fan of the chopping with the big chef's knife unless it's the, oh my gosh, why can't I think tonight? I was having such good clarity and now I can't think. It's you guys. No, I'm kidding. Unless it's the cabbage, I don't really like to chop with it. I don't know. Maybe it's the size of it. Maybe I just feel like, again, it's the control thing. I really like, this one is a 5 inch Santoku. So I did have a bigger one that I didn't use nearly as much. I used the other one that I had that was this size. So maybe it's just the size of the blade that I just am more comfortable with this one. And I don't have super small hands, but I also don't have huge hands. So that's probably part of it, is that it's just a size of the blade versus the size of my hand and what I feel I can control. So it's kind of a subconscious thing, I guess. All right. We're almost done chopping up this one pepper. And I'll go ahead and do this. Let's see. What should this one be for? I'll go ahead and make this for breakfasts. And I'm using a plastic bag today, one of the Ziplocs. Well, I guess I could put it all in. Do I have, I just don't know if it's all gonna fit in one of my mason jars. Excuse my arm, excuse the reach. There we go, putting it all in a mason jar. All right, so we've got a whole pepper, and I'll put that in to my breakfasts in the morning. A whole pepper, and then the carrot is gonna go in there as well. Yeah, chopping with the Santoku knife is just, I don't know if you can hear it, but it just feels like it goes much more quickly. And it's just easier for me to do. When I'm using the big chef's knife, I just feel awkward. Probably because it's so big. I don't know. Don't make any jokes. I hear you guys snickering, and I hear you guys laughing. Don't make jokes. I'll shake a knife at you. That's really rude. I'm sorry. I do that to you all the time. And I don't know if any of you have had a chance to look on YouTube. I know it's had a few views, but I know the first couple ones are still sideways because I haven't been able to figure out how to turn them the right way. If anybody in YouTube land or Periscope land can tell me that, that'd be amazing. I also wanted to ask you guys what you guys think of I was contemplating using my tablet instead of my phone. So you guys can tell me what you think of that idea, so that we have, maybe that would help. And maybe it would help the repost quality, because I feel like the quality on YouTube isn't as good. Let me adjust. There we go. I feel like I'm bent down like this and you guys see half of my face a lot of the time. I don't know why I have an issue with you seeing half of my face. I don't know. It's just rude. All right. I am chopping down the cabbage that's gonna go in with everything for breakfast, because I feel like I want to just be able to chow down instead of having big lengths of cabbage. Again, maybe that's just me. All right, so there's a mason jar, and I'll shake that up once I put a lid on it to be able to, excuse me, get out kind of enough of everything. Ooh, I wish you could smell this. It smells really good. I say that to you guys a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. I do cut my onion fresh and my garlic normally I cut fresh when I'm preparing things like simmering veggies. Shake, 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 shake. All right, it's kind of shaken together. I'm sure a little more shaking and we'll have it more evenly dispersed, so that's good. All right, so we've got the breakfast. What have we done so far? We've done, let's check it off so that we can keep moving. We've got pasta, which I did the spaghetti. We've got breakfast veggies, which I did. We've got roasted veggies going. We've got breakfast quinoa, which probably needs to be put off of the heat, even though it's only on warm. There we go. Breakfast quinoa done. Chili just needs to be put in the heater. Wow, we've done a lot. Veggie quinoa. We need to chop up veggies for veggie quinoa. All right. Look at us go. Guys, we're almost done. Stick with me. Stick with me. So I'm just going to take this cabbage that's sitting on my cutting board right here and put that in. So veggie quinoa, and remember I made the quinoa with broccoli and garbanzo beans, so I don't need to chop up any of the broccoli. Oh, that's what. Not often. Not often. We used to do it every so often, and partially because I'm really trying to tighten our budget. Let's see. Where do we eat out? If we're gonna eat out, normally, okay, let's be honest. Let's just be completely honest. We do In-N-Out if we want hamburgers, because it's one of the better hamburgers that you're going to get. Everything's fresh. Hold on, water break. What else? We just did awesome burgers. Yeah, totally worth it. Thank you. You're from the East Coast and you can understand and appreciate In-N-Out. There are a lot of people that come and they're like, oh, In-N-Out isn't that good. And I'm like, look, if you're on something like, I don't know, Crystal Burgers or White Castle, that's nothing like In-N-Out burgers. Those burgers are to die for. So if you're going for a fast food burger, like if you're looking for restaurant burgers, then of course it's not going to be the same. Let me rinse off some broccoli because I need to toss the broccoli in. Remember how I thought something was missing from the roasted veggies? That's what's missing. And that's why I have that giant bag sitting there. Come on, y'all. You're supposed to keep me from missing stuff. No, I'm kidding. And I'm gonna just chop up a whole bunch of florets to go in all sorts of good stuff. This is gonna be delicious, man. I love broccoli, and I haven't been eating broccoli. Broccoli, just so you know, is a really, really, really good source of plant protein. For ounce, it has more protein in it than red meat. More iron, more protein. It's just a very good veggie for you. So if you're not a fan of broccoli, I love you, get over it. Really, put on your big boy pants and get over it, because broccoli is amazing and it's really good for you. But I will put broccoli in just about anything, and I haven't been eating it because it can make you gassy. And when you're nursing, you have to be very careful because it can make your nursing baby gassy as well. So we were not eating it because we didn't want little miss to be gassy, but I turned off the wrong one again. My goodness. It's marked. It's not like it's not marked. Crazy. Just crazy. But I didn't want her to have to deal with a lot of gas right at the beginning because it's uncomfortable and babies really don't like gas. She hated it. So, but now she's, 3.5 months old. She can deal with it. I love her. She can deal with it. She also had a little bit of a sensitivity to chocolate, which she's kind of grown out of. I decided I wanted more broccoli. And in the roasted veggies, how about some garbanzo beans? Yeah, let's put some garbanzo beans in. I didn't open them and drain them or anything yet, but I think that sounds good. And this is how a lot of my cooking used to happen. It was just like, whatever sounds good is going in the pot. So that's why I don't have a lot of recipes for stuff, because honestly, it was just kind of whatever's in the pantry or whatever was in my fridge. It was funny the other day, my husband looked in the fridge, he goes, our fridge is so bare. It was before we went shopping. He said, our fridge is so empty. And I said, no, it's not empty. It just doesn't have ingredients. It has food. It has actually cooked food. So when you're hungry, you can go in and heat up food. And he goes, oh yeah. It was pretty empty because we didn't have eggs. We eat a lot of eggs, as I've told you guys before. So these roasted veggies are looking so good. The onions have cooked up nicely. Yeah, that looks better. Let's check a potato. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. Yeah, the potatoes aren't quite done yet, which is perfect for the broccoli because we don't want to overdo the broccoli. We still want it to have a snap. So let's check our rainbow, okay? Because I love the hashtag Eat Your Colors. I've kind of adopted that, and that's what I go by. And that's what I hashtag a lot on Instagram. So let's check our colors. in our roasted veggies, shall we? We have red pepper. We have an orange carrot and red pepper. We don't have anything yellow, which yellow pepper would have been the thing that would have gone in there. Or squash. We could have done yellow squash, crookneck squash. We have green. So red, orange, we don't have yellow. Green, we have broccoli. Blue, there's not a lot of, what's a blue vegetable? Somebody, look up, Google it real quick. What's a blue vegetable? Because I haven't been able to find one. Blueberry, but it's a fruit, so it wouldn't really go in roasted veggies, right? Yeah, look it up. See, somebody find it. We'll figure it out. But right now, it is what it is. And so we have eggplant. That's still purple because we have the purple cabbage, so that covers our purple. And then we have the potato, which counts as brown or white, whichever way you want to do that. But I guess eggplant could be a little blue, depending on which kind you get. I'm cutting up my lettuce. This time I got romaine. The romaine was really pretty. Endive, yeah, endive I guess could be blue. Ugh. All right, and just like I did the other week, cut it in half. Cut each of those halves in half. And this is where a really sharp knife comes in handy because you're trying to cut through. The leaves aren't hard to cut, obviously, but you're trying to just pull through. Blue potatoes. Could do blue potatoes. Could do that. And then I'm just gonna cut strips across the quarters that I just cut. Make some bite-sized pieces, which is really good when you're trying to feed a 3-year-old. When he comes up and he goes, "Bite of green, please." Because he does. He comes and he eats my salads. He eats my spinach. Not that I'm complaining, but Mama likes her spinach. All right, so that's just all gonna go together. I do not have a mason jar big enough for 2 heads of spinach, so I'm just gonna put them in a big gallon-sized bag. And these bags, I don't know, they're kind of thin. I don't know what brand they are, but they're like a thinner, they keep things better. Yeah, I'll go look at a color chart. And then I'll try and buy them because we have some really good farmers markets around here. I mean, we're in California's breadbasket. Fresno is where I'm at. And we have so many farms around here. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how more stores don't have local stuff. Like I bought cherries and then I was looking at the bag and it said they came from Washington. And when you're driving into Fresno, there's a bunch of cherry trees. So where are our Fresno cherries? Just a thought. All right, cutting my other head here. This one's a little smaller than the other one. So it's okay though, because it's just for my son and myself this week, right? All right, this one's almost done. I've got some cabbage. Trying to stick around. I thought I got all of it. It's a little teeny tiny piece. So it's like purple against green. It's really pretty, but that's why it stood out, because it was that purple color against green. All right, we're just gonna put everything in this bag here, and we've got salad mix, and then we did get another giant bag of spinach from Costco. I can show you guys that bag if you want, but it's a big bag of spinach. Now, the way that I can tell you pretty much when the roasted veggies are done is when you can smell the broccoli. It's not a bad smell, it's just cooked broccoli, but you can kind of smell it. It's the same way that I told you I could tell when the broccoli was done in the quinoa, because you can kind of smell it. So we're gonna get as much air out of this as possible and close it. Once it looks all vacuum packed, but see, this is like thinner. I don't know, I really like these bags and I can't remember what brand they are. All right, let's check. They're almost done. So we've got a couple more peppers to cut. This little guy has some issues on its end, so we're gonna check the inside real quick and see if we need to cut anything off. Nope, it was just fine. All right, I'm getting messages while I'm trying to talk to you guys. I will answer that message in a minute. All right. Cutting another pepper up, because remember before I did the salad and we got to talking and I was putting the broccoli in, we were prepping the salad fixings. So I did cabbage, that purple cabbage, and now I'm just chopping up another pepper. And this is gonna go into another container, and then I'll just grab some every time I make a salad. It makes it much easier, and it kind of takes the excuses out of, oh, but I don't have time to chop everything. Oh, but if I'm cooking, you know, like when people have those excuses so that they don't have to eat healthy, I'm like, okay, well, I've started doing this and it really helps me be able to have those things. So keep that in mind if you have a friend that gives you, and I'm not saying excuses like in a bad way, it's just they're the things that we tell ourselves so that we don't have to be accountable, really. They're lies we tell ourselves. My phone is going crazy, so if there's a whole bunch of weird random noises, I'm very sorry. I can't tell what it's gonna sound like to you guys. I just know it just vibrated. All right, I think little miss is probably getting kind of hungry because it's just about that time, and we've been on for almost an hour. So all of my, let's check our list. But I think I just chopped up a carrot while I was talking to you guys for my salad prep stuff. I'm gonna chop another one because that one was small. It was thick, but it was small. It was very it was only like that long. So let's chop up another one. And then the rest of these carrots, I think that's a lot of carrots. I think I might have miscounted when I was taking them out. Or maybe I just need to chop a few more for other preps. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, so we've got 2 carrots now in the salad prep, and then I was gonna cut the rest of them up in just sticks, carrot sticks, so that I have a quick snack to be able to go get and eat. Let's look at our list and see where we're at on our list. Let's finish cutting this so I'm not looking at something else while a very sharp knife is going toward my finger. You guys see the top of my head quite a bit. I'm sorry, I need to look up more often. But when I'm cutting, especially sharp knives, all right, it's smelling like those roasted veggies are almost done. All right, we did roasted veggies. Oh, mac and veggies. Oh, and then the veggies for the veggie quinoa. That makes sense why there's another pepper here. Let's get the roasted veggies off the heat because they're done now, it smells like. And honestly, a lot of people are like, well, how long? How long? And I do a lot of things by smell and by taste. So if you don't, I'm sorry, but you'll get used to it. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. It's just gorgeous. There's so many colors in here right now. All right. And the other thing that I do is I will take these roasted veggies once I've reheated what I'm gonna reheat. One of the other days I'll take it and I'll cut up more potatoes and I'll cook them really quick. I cut them very small. Sorry guys, my hair is in my face today. I cut them small so they cook more quickly, and then I add that in and I make soup. I make potato soup. So it's very versatile. Oh, this is the one that has an issue on the end. So let's just go ahead and take care of that with our surgical precision paring knife. No, that's not what it's called. It's just very sharp. There we go. All out of there. All right. We'll get the pepper in and cut for our veggie quinoa. You guys still with me? I know you are. I can see that you are. And then we're gonna just cut and slice all of this. I feel like when I cook just a little earlier, even like an hour earlier, more people are able to watch, but hopefully they catch it rebroadcast and they just go in and they play that. All right, this pepper, so I've got 1 pepper, and then I'm gonna probably do 2 carrots because I'm down to smaller carrots. I don't have the giant ones like I did the last time that I bought a 5-pound bag, but that's okay. We're using what we have, right? What's available to us. I really think that I really want to go to the farmer's market and get the 10-pound bag of oranges and then juice them because they're so good right now. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did. Okay, so this is for veggie quinoa. I'm gonna chop up a mushroom and some carrots, and all of this will be cooked with onions and garlic too. I'm just not cooking it right now because I don't want to reheat the quinoa that I've already heated once. So I'm a big believer in only reheating something once, just for bacteria's sake. And you don't want to break down the nutrition any more than you have to. So we're gonna chop up this bad boy right here. It's a mushroom. Bad boy. It's a fun guy. I know that's a really lame joke, but it's a dad joke, and my husband likes dad jokes, so you guys get them too. Sorry. They stick in my head, guys. Oh, here. We'll use this carrot because he's a big one. All right. Chop off. And I don't chop off huge parts of the ends, guys. You don't need to. And I don't peel my carrots. I mentioned that I think once before, but I don't peel them because that's where a lot of the nutrition is. It's in the skin. And yes, most of it is, it's the meat of it that you're eating, and it's all orange, so you don't realize that you're taking off the good skin part. So just scrub it. I just scrub them real well with a brush, and then they're done, and they're good. Good to go. Let's get this one in here. Things are moving more quickly, guys. We are almost out of here. So I think what's gonna end up happening is Kitchen Club is probably gonna be about an hour long. We'll ask questions, we'll cook, and we'll prep snacks and food and salads and all sorts of stuff. I might actually start pre-posting what I'm gonna be prepping the week before, just so that you guys know. And you can go, sorry about the and you can go on my blog and go buy your ingredients so that you guys can cook along with me. Or you can just sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, grab a giant glass of water like I do, and talk to me while I cook. Because you know that's what I love. I love that I get to talk to you guys while I'm cooking. Water break, exactly. All right, let's rinse off some broccoli. And it's just a handful of broccoli. I don't think I'm gonna get to the mac and veggies, but it's on the blog, guys. So you guys can check that out on the blog. Now you can use milk as the water or as the liquid that you put into your blender. You can use almond milk, you can use oat milk, unsweetened, obviously. You can use regular milk if you're a milk drinker. You can use water even. I would just make sure that you spice it a little bit more. And then what else can you use? You can use all sorts of stuff. So don't narrow yourself because you see in a recipe that there's, you know, oh, but I don't use that ingredient. Then sub it out for something you do use. I'm not going to be offended. I do it to a lot of people's recipes. People are always asking me, oh, can you cook this and then tell me how to cook it? I don't like this. What can I substitute? And I'll tell them because people know that I like to cook. So seriously, if you like one of my recipes but you want to tweak it, do it. And then tag me in your Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever. Post a picture in the comments on my blog. Seriously, I want to see what you guys are doing with the recipes that we do together. All right, I need another baggie because not everything's fitting because I cut a lot more broccoli. I told you I love broccoli. I need to cut up some broccoli to go in the salad one. Guys, how'd you let me forget that? We're gonna grab, see? Reaching for that purple cabbage again. I'm telling you, I love having meals and things already done so that I don't have just a whole bunch of ingredients sitting in my fridge. I'm loving this, guys. Do it. Seriously, pick a day. You can pick the days that I prep too, and we can all do it together. Hurrah! 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 All right. Yes, I have to make the noises As my dad used to say, make a hia, give a power. I think that, what did that come from? Somebody has to know. It's from a TV show. I grew up nerdy. I'm still a nerd. Let's be completely honest with each other, because I'm completely honest with you. Okay. All of that is in there now. And I have room that I could put more broccoli in, so I'm going to. Because I got a whole new bag out, guys. And then I can just heat up the skillet, heat up the coconut oil, and saute these a little bit and put the quinoa in. The veggie quinoa. And then my meal is done. Y'all, it takes an hour to do all this prep. And then, well, let's say an hour and a half because of what I do before I get on and start broadcasting. We'll call it an hour and a half because I rinse stuff and I cut the cores out of the peppers and that kind of stuff. I scrub my mushrooms and my carrots. But other than that, guys, oh, and I make the pasta salad. Thanksgiving. I have roasted a turkey and I don't stuff it because it makes it dry. From my experience. So if you have a turkey that you stuff and it's delicious and it's moist, I am happy for you. But from what I have found, roasting a turkey, don't stuff it. That's my 2 cents. Then I have made my aunt, yeah, make it separate. If you like stuffing, some people don't. And then if it's not stuffed, then it's called dressing, by the way. If we're being technical, because we had that the technical term earlier, icky. I am so sorry. I'll work on that. Yeah, it's called dressing. Who knew? Let's see, my aunt makes cream corn, which I'm gonna have to tweak a little bit. I make my own cranberry sauce. It's so good. What else have I made? Yams. I don't do candied yams. I do a roasted yam that has garlic and onion and coconut oil, and it's a savory yam because yams are already sweet. So it's really good though, guys. It's so good. Now you have me wanting Thanksgiving, and we're only in July. Come on now. Come on now. All right. What else do I make? I can't remember what else I make for Thanksgiving, honestly, guys. I usually just make a list. We've been going you guys, seriously? We have been going up to my uncle's. He lives up north a couple hours, and so I don't normally cook a lot because my aunt does it. Green beans, mashed potatoes, thank you. Green beans, mashed potatoes. My mashed potatoes are a little bit different. Usually I try to do garlic mashed potatoes or something like that for special occasions. So we do some garlic and onion in the mashers. And then green beans. Oh, when I first got pregnant, I craved green bean casserole. One of my girlfriends brought over a bag that had all the ingredients so I could make green bean casserole. Weirdest thing ever, but that's what I wanted. And for those of you that have never been pregnant, which would be all the guys and some of the women, it is the weirdest thing when you have a pregnancy craving. You have to have it. You have to. Until you get it, it does not go away. And it may subside for a couple days, but then it comes back with a vengeance because guess what? You didn't have it. My children like everything. My daughter's too young, obviously, to eat food yet. We won't start her until she's 6 months old, but her first food will be avocado, just like her brother. But my son eats all the veggies that you've seen me cut up. I don't cook anything separate for him. So a lot of people will make their meal and it's all beautiful and it's got all the colors and it's got all the veggies, and then they make, you know, chicken nuggets or something for their kids because their kids are picky, or they say their kids are picky. But we don't do that for my son. We've always just made whatever we eat, he eats. So there are some nights that he has a hard time, and it's not because of the food, it's because he's tired. So we try to make sure that he eats before he gets too tired. Like tonight, he had the glop, and you guys know that in the glop was all the veggies that you guys have seen me cut tonight, and zucchini. So he eats everything, and I'm pretty sure she will too, because it's just not an option. You eat what mama cooks. So does that answer your question? Yeah, he eats green beans. My daughter will probably eat green beans, but I like to braise them because they're delicious braised. I should do that for you guys one night, make some sides. Because normally, well, right now, because it's hot, we've been doing a lot of salads. So that's why I'm prepping salads, but I'll probably, as it gets cooler, get into making sides more again. I am just cutting carrot sticks right now as I'm talking to you. That's why I'm looking down a lot. Because again, sharp knives. And if you see me straining, it's because it's a particularly thick carrot that I'm trying to cut while keeping my head about me what I'm talking about. All right. I have one more carrot. I've already cut up the carrot to go in the mac and veggies. So I'll show you what it looks like in my blender right now. All the things that'll go in the mac and veggies. Now, you can put, I do watch food documentaries sometimes. I don't have a lot of time for them right now, but I do watch them sometimes. So this is what the layers look like in my Vitamix right now. And I've put zucchini, squash, cauliflower. You can put, cauliflower is actually really good in here because it gives it kind of a creaminess. The mushrooms do the same thing. I think I'm gonna put my other extra big mushroom in this sauce. And you can put, what I was gonna say is you can put the red cabbage or the purple cabbage in it, but it gives it, instead of being kind of that orange color that people know macaroni and cheese to be, it gives it kind of a red, purpley, weird color. So just be aware that if you do that, some people may be like, what are you trying to feed me? Because some people are really weird about it. Really, really weird about it. All right, I'm just putting nutritional yeast in there. And I put a lot of nutritional yeast in it. Nutritional yeast, I saw somebody post, I think it was Those Crazy Vegans. So January Harsh and her husband, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon. They posted on Those Crazy Vegans that they made a cheese sauce for nachos out of silken tofu and a little bit of salt and pepper and nutritional yeast. And they just blended it down until it was creamy. And it was like nacho cheese sauce that you would get from a can, only it was healthier for you, obviously. But let's be honest, that cheese isn't cheese anyway. Yeah. So, but they blended it down. So it wasn't like shredded cheese. It was like a cheese sauce that they put on there. And she said it was delicious. So I'm gonna probably try that. And then one of the people that normally is on, but she's not on right now, Jackie, unless you are there and I didn't see you, say hi if you are. She was telling me, about, she had one Alfredo sauce that she did a couple weeks ago, and then she had another one she did tonight. So I'm gonna try both of those recipes and see how they come out. Because I love Alfredo sauce, but it's butter and cheese and milk. So if I'm not doing, and cream. So if I'm not doing that anymore, then I'm never gonna have Alfredo sauce. Well, I really like sauces. I'm a big sauce person and I'm a big flavor person. So we're gonna figure that out for you guys. It's all about science and you guys, right? It's not about the fact that I really want Alfredo sauce. Never. So I put a lot of nutritional yeast into the mac and veggie mix so that we can have that kind of, I don't know why, but when I eat a lot of nutritional yeast, and I know there's a scientific reason, and I've probably read it before, but when I eat more nutritional yeast and try not to breathe it in, I don't want cheese as much. Interesting, right? So I probably won't be making that for you because I do need to blend it, and that's loud. And I'd have to stand over there off camera, and dead air that has just a loud murr in the background isn't good air. So we did the salad. I was gonna do loaded baked potatoes next week, but I don't think I'm going to do that. We did the veggie quinoa prep, and I did carrot sticks. What else? The veggie quinoa just needs to be put away. Oh, I was gonna put this other mushroom in for my sauce, right? All right, so we have done quite a bit. The only thing that I didn't really do was the loaded baked potatoes. And ever try canning? I actually have. I've canned quite a bit. And right now, it's one of those things I don't have time for. I would love, once I have my tower garden set up, once I have more than one set up, let's put it that way. If I have I'll probably end up with like 6 once we have a house. Let's be honest, because I love growing food. I love growing plants anyway. I have quite a few plants on our balconies. But once I have more tower gardens, I'll probably have one dedicated to tomatoes so I can can our own tomatoes again, because I used to grow tons of tomatoes. I had, let's see, there were 4 on the back patio and I think 2 on the kitchen patio. And then I had sugar snap peas. And so I used to can, or not can, I used to just grow them. So I did can them. I used to can my beans, but we use them so quickly now. They don't just sit around because we use them a lot for a good source of carb, a good source of fiber, and a good source of protein. So they're just kind of versatile. So they just sit in the fridge now. We just take them out and use them as we need them. My son likes to help me put them on nachos and stuff. So there is that. But I think the only thing that I have left is to do the sauce for the veggie and nachos. And I'm gonna feed my daughter and then do that. Loaded baked potatoes. Oh, there you go, thank you. You keep me on track and I really appreciate that. Loaded baked potatoes is a baked potato, so that's all I was gonna do was scrub the potatoes, show you how I usually wrap them in foil. I'll put coconut oil on them, and they say not to put salt or pepper on the outside, and I don't agree with that. Personally, I do that, and I wrap them in foil, and I toss them in the toaster oven at, I think 375, maybe 400 for like 30 minutes. And then I put them in the regular oven to let them kind of cool down and finish cooking so I don't get mealy in the middle. And then I'll just toss those. You can put them in the freezer that way or in the fridge. And I was gonna do them probably on Sunday. So I would have had just 1 or 2 days. You want to eat them within 4 days when you do that. So take them out of the foil and put them in another container, like a glass container. And then you can eat them, just reheat them really well. So then I put, my son likes Greek yogurt, I'll put some coconut oil, I'll put my chili, I'll put some broccoli that I've kind of roasted or steamed. I put all sorts of stuff, all sorts of veggies on there. I'll put the nutritional yeast. So it really just depends. They're loaded baked potatoes. So whatever you would want, it kind of becomes a potato bar. You just put everything out and everybody puts whatever they want on it. So you can put cheese on it. If you're a big cheese eater, you can do that. Your vegan cheese sauce, you could do that as well. So those are the things that I do when I do a loaded baked potato, and it just ends up being a really good, solid meal. And if you do the baked potato earlier, you don't have to worry about the 40-minute cook time and, oh, I have to do that, and then I gotta get all. It makes it a lot easier if you just cook them ahead of time. So that's the only thing that we're missing off of my list, honestly. So I don't think we're gonna eat that. But we have enough here. I mean, guys, I'm done. We did, let's recap, breakfast quinoa. So I have that to heat up in place of oatmeal. I've got the chili that just needs to go onto the, onto the cook heating element. Mac and veggies I'll make after I feed her. Roasted veggies, we prepped that to be able to, or no, we cooked that. That just has to be canned. We did the spaghetti, we did the veggie quinoa veggies, we did the salad, and then we also did the breakfast and the carrot sticks. So everything is done. I just spilled because I had one of them that wasn't closed. So I am all done. I took just over an hour, guys. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me for this just over an hour, as I was going very, very quickly because now I need to go feed my daughter. But I really appreciate it. I really enjoy spending time with you. It makes the time go a lot more quickly, and I'm not just standing here talking to myself or thinking, and you know, you get in trouble when you do that. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, if you want to know how I cook something, well, go cook. You should prep with me. If you have questions or anything, you can find me on Instagram at Manda D Panda. I post a lot about my kids, so if you don't like hearing about kids, sorry, but I post a lot of our pictures of food that we eat, of things that you've seen me cook, so you get to see how I plate them as well. I also post on my blog here and there, harmonyinthestitches.blogspot.com. I will probably be moving after my little girl is a little bit older, and I'm up for a promotion on my business, so I'm crazy right now, so I'm not gonna move until I do that. And then you can also find me on Twitter, Sweetest Muse, not Sweetest of Muses, it's Sweetest Muse. And you can find me on Facebook as well, but my profile is set to private. So you have to find me and ask me nicely if I will be your friend. But yeah, you can put your questions anywhere there, on any of those. And if you want recipes, they're on the blog. If there's not a recipe that you were looking for and you want to know, leave me a comment, send me a quick message, and I'll try to do it for you and then get it up. Sound good? All right, so you guys have a wonderful evening. Know that I really appreciate you, and I can't wait for the next kitchen club video. It'll probably be another shopping video if I have to do any shopping this coming week. Hopefully not. Remember, we did a big shopping haul. And then another cooking video. So we will see you guys then. Until then, have an amazing time. Bye.